What's up everyone, Megurfey here. Today I'm going to be talking about Hypixel's top 5 most underrated games in the most popular game modes. Before we get into this, I am close to hitting 350 subscribers, so if you're watching and you're not yet subscribed, just consider it. It's free, always helps out a lot. And if you don't like the content, you can always unsubscribe later. Also, this is all just my opinion. You can play whatever game modes you want and have fun doing that, but these, in my opinion, are some of the more underrated game modes in Hypixel's better known games. So let's get into this. Bed Wars is the second most popular game mode on Hypixel after Skyblock, and it pulls in about 44,000 players at a time on some of the better days. However, in Bed Wars there are some game modes that really just don't see much attention on YouTube or in general. Personally, I think one of my favorite Bed Wars game modes in the Dream mode is Rush. The nice thing about Rush is it's pretty fast paced, so if you know how to PvP, you can just grab 16 blocks, rush the base next to you, wipe their whole team, get the bed, and win the game pretty quickly. And if you solo queue Rush and get placed with a bunch of nons and immediately lose your bed, because that's how solo queuing works, the emerald generation is really fast, and they even spawn in the generators, so you can just grab a bunch of ender pearls, clutch the game, and win. So not only is Rush really good for getting quests, but it also has good clutching potential and it's easy to solo queue. Moving on to Skywars. Skywars has been around the Hypixel network for quite a long time, and arguably has been one of their most popular games and influential games over time. While Skywars has had various different game modes such as Mega, Doubles, and Mega, which get like 0 players, I think one of the most underrated Hypixel game modes in Skywars today has got to be Slime. Slime Skywars deters many sweats because they see it, think, oh my god, knockback 10, that's so unfair, the nons are gonna beat me up. But listen, the thing is, there's permanent double jump. You can grab a sword, rush a guy while they're still in their first chest, wipe him, and if you're not as good at PvP, you can just rush mid, grab a knockback 10 slime ball, and whack a bunch of people off the map. And while it is possible to clutch from knockback 10 slime ball due to the fact that everyone has double jump and there are items that allow you to clutch from that, it definitely still works out. So the nice thing about Slime is there's really something for everyone. Moving on to Hypixel Duels. Hypixel Duels is not a specific game mode, but it's a game type, and there's various different Hypixel Duels. Now, while a lot of duels get very few players, I think one of the more underrated ones is actually Skywars Duels, and you might be thinking, well, Megurfey, Skywars Duels gets like 400 players. Listen, Skywars Duels is a really cool game mode. Not only are the players absolutely terrible at Skywars Duels, which means that it's pretty easy to win, but it also doesn't get boring. There is so many different kits, you have access to every single Skywars kit, including kits like Sloth and Archaeologist, which I don't know I'd ever use those, but it's still cool to have access to them. And because you have access to every kit, you can play out any strategy you want, go any kit you want, and just have a good time in general. You don't have to sweat every single game mode. And while Skywars Duels might not have as many players as Bridge, I would definitely say it's a better mode in my opinion. Moving on to arcade games. Arcade games is a pretty popular lobby on Hypixel, has various different game modes, many of which get like 0 players. I'd say the most popular arcade game is definitely Party Games, which is kind of funny because it's just a compilation of other arcade games. But I'm going to be going over the top 3 arcade games in my opinion. The number 1, of course, is Throw It. Throw It is the best arcade game in existence. Seriously, it's not that bad of a game. While the queues last forever and it's basically just a rip-off of Smash Brothers and Minecraft, it's still a pretty cool game if you enjoy like Smash Brothers, but you don't like any of the characters and you just want to do it on pigs and Minecraft instead, then play Throw Out. I think some other underrated arcade game modes though would be Zombies. Zombies is actually a team survival game against the zombie apocalypse, which on Hypixel basically means you're dead because most of your teammates won't do anything. But the cool thing about Zombies is if you're good at it, the games can last a while. It's definitely a fun game. There's a lot of elements to it. You can unlock things as you progress throughout the different waves. And if you haven't tried it, I'd definitely recommend trying it out at least once. And I think probably the most underrated arcade game mode has got to be Capture the Wool. Capture the Wool was recently just moved to the arcade lobby. It used to be in the prototype lobby. But Capture the Wool is basically just capture the wool. You have 2 wools on each side. I think everyone here knows how to play Capture the Wool. Basically just steal the other team's wool and bring it back to your own team. But the nice thing about Capture the Wool on Hypixel is it's 40v40 first of all, so you don't actually have to be that good, but you can also get some really good block clutches considering there's a lot of bridging involved, and you can make some really cool plays. Now moving on to TNT Games. TNT Games gets a fair amount of players. The cool thing about TNT Games is everyone might know TNT Run, but there are some pretty cool game modes that people don't know very much, listed as TNT Wizards or TNT Tag. TNT Wizards is personally my favorite TNT game mode, and it's actually a really cool game mode. The thing about TNT Wizards is it basically works by defending a specific goal and standing on it to generate a certain number of points, and then the other team has to try to knock you off it, or you have to try to knock the other team off it, and whoever generates 2,000 points the fastest wins. But it's a really cool game mode, really cool map, and there's so many different abilities and power-ups that you can use, and if you haven't tried it out, definitely try it. And it kind of gives you like a glance at a different side of Hypixel than just stats and sweats and stuff. Now, moving on to Hypixel's #1 most underrated game mode in the #1 most popular game, we're going to be looking at Skyblock. No, I'm just kidding. Skyblock is kind of overrated in my opinion. I ran out of ideas. I mean, you probably want to play Skyblock at least once to just get an idea of what it's like. If you enjoy it, you can keep playing it. If you don't, then you don't have to play it. But yeah, that basically wraps up this video. I hope you all enjoyed, and with that, I will see you next time.